Let me hit you with a brutal truth. The reason that avoidant you're dating is pulling away isn't because you did something wrong. In fact, it's because you did everything right. Picture this. You finally meet someone. Sparks are flying. The connection is electric. You give them consistency, attention, love, the very things every dating coach on the internet tells you to do, and then out of nowhere, they turn cold. Your texts, left on read. Your calls, ignored. That warmth in their eyes, gone, and you're left spiraling, thinking what the hell just happened? Was I too needy? Not good enough? Did I scare them off? Here's the uncomfortable truth. With an avoidant, the very things that make a secure relationship work are the things that trigger them to run. Sounds unfair, right? But this is not random. It's not bad luck. It's predictable psychology, and unless you understand it, you will keep pushing them away without even realizing it. That's why in this video, I'm going to break down the 5 dating mistakes that almost guarantee an avoidant will distance themselves from you. Mistakes that 99% of people, good, loving, well-meaning people, make again and again. What you're about to hear will completely flip everything you think you know about connection, attraction, and closeness. And by the end of this video, you'll finally see why avoidants run, and how to stop being the reason they disappear. Here's where almost everyone gets it completely wrong. You've been told that love means giving more effort, more reassurance, more attention, that if you just prove how much you care, the other person will finally feel safe enough to love you back. But with an avoidant, that's the exact formula for disaster. Let me give it to you straight. The more love you pour into an avoidant, the emptier they feel. The closer you lean in, the faster they lean out. Think of it like this. You send them 3 heartfelt texts because they didn't reply. In your mind, you're just showing care. In their mind, alarms go off. Too much. Too fast. I need to get out. You open up with a long emotional message about your feelings, expecting closeness. To you, that's intimacy. To them, that's pressure, suffocation, chains. And here's the scary part. This isn't random. This is psychology. Avoidants are wired differently. Attachment theory shows us that somewhere along the way, they learned that closeness equals danger, that love means losing freedom. So their nervous system automatically treats intimacy not as safety, but as threat. So what happens? You do exactly what every book, every movie, every dating coach tells you is the right thing. You stay consistent, vulnerable, affectionate, and instead of pulling them closer, you trigger their deepest fear. That's the real conflict. You think you're giving them what they need, but to an avoidant, you're building a cage. And cages don't make people stay, they make people run. This is why you keep finding yourself in the same painful loop. You give more, thinking it'll fix things. They withdraw, feeling trapped. You panic, and double down. They vanish, until finally, you're left staring at your phone, wondering why loving harder only seems to push them further away. And here's the twist. It's not because they don't care. It's because you don't know the rules of their attachment system. That's exactly why in the next section, I'm going to expose the first of the 5 deadly dating mistakes that guarantee an avoidant will pull away. Once you see it, you'll realize you've probably been making it without even knowing. This is the single most common way people destroy their chances with an avoidant. Mistake 1. You chase them when they pull back. And let me be brutally honest. This one is a death sentence for attraction. Here's how the pursuer, distance trap works. The moment you feel them pulling away, you panic. That panic makes you chase harder. The harder you chase, the faster they run. And before you even realize it, the relationship isn't drifting apart, it's collapsing. Let me ask you, how many times have you done this? They don't reply for 2 hours, so you send another text. Hey, did you see my message? Still nothing. So you try again. Are you okay? Then maybe you call just to check in. But from their perspective, every text, every call, every desperate check-in doesn't feel like care. It feels like pressure, like chains tightening. Their nervous system doesn't translate it as love. It translates it as danger. And once an avoidance brain sounds that alarm, there's only one move left in their playbook: run. This is why chasing is poison, because what you think will fix the problem is the very thing that kills the connection. Now here's the paradox that almost nobody understands. The less you chase, the more space they feel, and the more space they feel, the safer they are to come back. So what's the fix? Simple, but brutally hard. When they pull back, you pull back too. If they take 12 hours to reply, you don't send 3 messages. You wait, you mirror, you breathe. Because the second you stop chasing, the dynamic flips. Suddenly, you're not the desperate pursuer. You're the calm, secure one they can actually trust. And here's the kicker. The moment you prove you won't collapse when they distance themselves, is the moment they feel safe enough to return. So remember this. Chasing doesn't bring them closer. It teaches them to run faster. And if you think this mistake is bad, wait until you see mistake 2. Because it's one you've probably made without even realizing. Every time you open your heart. Mistake 2 is one you've probably made without even realizing it. And it's silently killing every connection you try to build with an avoidant. It's called over-explaining your feelings. Now brace yourself for the harsh truth. Avoidants don't hear your emotional paragraphs as love. They hear them as pressure, as interrogation, as a cage. Picture this. They go a little quiet. You feel that panic rise in your chest. So you do what feels natural. You open up. You send them a 3-minute voice note. I just don't understand why you're pulling away. I really care about you. I just need to know where we stand. Then maybe a second one. I hope I didn't do something wrong. I'm just trying to be honest about my feelings. Then maybe even a third. In your mind you're being vulnerable. You're fighting for the relationship. But in their mind, it feels like they're under interrogation lights. Every word adds more weight, more demand, more pressure. And here's the brutal reality. Avoidants are wired to equate emotional overload with danger. Their nervous system doesn't process it as intimacy. It processes it as suffocation. So instead of drawing them in, your flood of feelings flips a switch in their brain. I need to escape. Now, this is why you've seen the same painful pattern play out. The more you explain, the quieter they become. The longer your paragraphs, the shorter their replies. The more you open your heart, the more they close theirs. It's not because you're too much. It's because you're giving too much too fast, in the wrong way. So what's the fix? Less is more. Instead of 3 emotional voice notes, try 1 warm, grounded line. Hey, I missed you today. Hope you're good. Period. Done. Secure energy. 1 calm sentence has more power than 3 desperate essays. Because security attracts, panic repels. So remember, with an avoidant, love isn't proven through volume. It's proven through composure. And if this stings, good. Because mistake 3 is even worse. It's the one that convinces avoidants you're not a partner, but their therapist. Mistake 3 is the one that drains people the most. Mentally, emotionally, even spiritually. It's the trap of trying to fix an avoidant. And let's be real. If you're honest with yourself, you've probably thought this: if I just love them harder, if I show them I'll never leave, if I stay patient, maybe I can heal them. It feels romantic, noble, even heroic. But here's the truth that stings. You cannot heal someone's attachment system for them. Why? Because avoidant wiring isn't surface level. It's not a bad habit. They can drop after a few deep talks. It's built into their nervous system, rooted in years of early conditioning. Maybe they grew up with parents who weren't safe to rely on. Maybe love was inconsistent, or closeness always came with pain. So their brain made a rule: don't need anyone. Distance is safety. And when you step in as the healer, guess what? You accidentally confirm that rule. They don't see you as a partner. They see you as someone trying to reprogram them against their will. and the avoidant nervous system reacts only one way: defense mode. Here's the attitude test. The rescuer mindset sounds like this: I'll prove to you I'm safe. I'll pour everything into you until you finally believe in love. It feels selfless, but to an avoidant, it feels like pressure, like a weight they never asked you to carry. The secure mindset sounds like this: I respect your space, but I won't lower my value or abandon myself to win you over. And that difference is everything. Because avoidants don't fall for rescuers. They don't fall for therapists. They fall for equals, people who show love without losing themselves. Here's the paradox. The second you stop trying to heal them is the second they actually feel safe around you. So burn this into your mind. You can love them, you can support them, but fixing them, that's not your job. And if you thought this mistake was painful, wait until mistake 4. Because that one doesn't just push an avoidant away, it convinces them you've made them your entire universe, and nothing makes them run faster than that. Mistake 4 is one of the most dangerous traps people fall into, and the scary part, it feels like love while it's happening. It's when you slowly make them your entire world. You know the pattern. You stop hanging out with your friends because you'd rather wait for their text. You put your hobbies on pause because you don't want to miss their call. Your mood rises and crashes, depending on whether they give you attention, and you tell yourself, this is what it means to be devoted. This is how you prove love. But let me shatter that illusion to an avoidant. This doesn't feel like devotion. It feels like chains. Avoidants have one deep wired fear: dependency. The moment they sense that you've wrapped your identity around them, their nervous system doesn't register it as closeness. It registers it as danger. Their brain screams, if I let this continue, I'll lose myself. I'll get trapped. And when that survival alarm goes off, there's only one thing they know how to do: run. Here's the evolutionary angle most people miss. For avoidance, independence equals survival. From childhood, they learned that closeness meant pain, that needing someone meant disappointment. So now when someone hands over their whole life in the name of love, it doesn't melt their heart, it terrifies it. That's why you've seen it happen. The more you orbit your entire existence around them, the faster they disappear. So what's the fix? The rule is brutally simple. Keep your own life alive. Keep chasing your goals. Keep investing in your hobbies. Keep your friendships, your routines, your independence. Because nothing pushes an avoidant away faster than feeling like your oxygen supply. But nothing draws them closer than watching you thrive on your own. Here's the paradox. When you stop making them your universe, they finally want to become part of yours. So let this burn into your mind. Love them, yes. Share your life, yes. But hand over your entire world. That's the fastest way to lose them. And if you thought this was brutal, wait until you hear mistake 5. Because that one doesn't just push them away, it convinces them they can't trust you at all. Mistake 5 is the one that separates people who keep an avoidant from people who lose them forever. It's this failing their tests. And trust me, avoidants test you, but not with words. They don't sit you down and ask, are you secure? Can I trust you? No. They test you with behavior. They cancel last minute after you've been looking forward to the date all week. They go quiet for 24 hours after an amazing night together. They suddenly pull back the moment you feel like you're finally getting closer. And here's the catch. They're not doing it to torture you. They're doing it because their nervous system has one haunting question on repeat. If I give you distance, will you explode on me, or will you stay calm? Now here's where almost everyone fails. They cancel plans, and you snap. Seriously, do you even care about me? They disappear for a day, and you panic text. What's wrong? Are you losing interest? Just tell me the truth. They pull back, and you chase harder. Double texts, emotional paragraphs, late night calls. From your perspective, you're just expressing feelings. You're fighting for the connection, but from theirs, every outburst proves their deepest fear. See, if I let someone close, it always turns into drama. I was right. Distance is safer. That's why they test. Not to hurt you, but to see if you'll confirm their story. And this is where the golden rule comes in. Respond. Don't react. Let me paint two scenes for you. Scene A. Reacting. They cancel dinner last minute. You fire back. You always do this. Forget it. I'm done. Result. Their nervous system locks down. Another person who can't handle them. Trust shattered. Scene B. Responding. They cancel dinner last minute. You reply calmly. No worries. I'll catch up on my stuff tonight. Let me know when you're free. Result. Their brain short circuits. They expected fireworks. But you gave composure. That shock. That's what builds trust. Because here's the paradox. The calmer you are in the face of their distance, the safer they feel to come back. And the safer they feel, the less they need to test. Avoidants don't need someone who explodes. They don't need someone who chases. They need someone consistent, grounded. Someone who can take a storm without collapsing. So burn this into your mind. Every cancelled plan, every silent stretch, every pullback. It's not just distance, it's a test. And how you respond decides everything. Fail their test, and you confirm their fear. Pass their test, and you become the one thing they didn't think existed. Safe. Take a deep breath. Let's put this all together. Because what I'm about to remind you could be the turning point in how you deal with avoidance forever. Mistake 1. You chased when they pulled back, and every step forward made them sprint away. Mistake 2. You over-explained your feelings, turning love into interrogation. Mistake 3. You tried to fix them, forgetting their wounds aren't yours to heal. Mistake 4. You made them your whole world, handing them a responsibility they never asked for. Mistake 5. You failed their tests, reacting with fear instead of responding with calm strength. Now let this sink in. Every single mistake comes from fear. Fear of losing them. Fear of being abandoned. Fear of not being enough. But love rooted in fear will always push an avoidant away. The only love that pulls them closer is love rooted in security, in strength, in self-respect. So here's your wake-up call. Stop chasing. Stop fixing. Stop shrinking your world to fit into theirs. Instead, become the person who doesn't need to beg for closeness. Become the person they don't want to risk losing, because the second you prove you can survive without them, is the second they finally start to believe they can be safe with you. Now I want you to do 2 things. First, drop a comment right now. Tell me which mistake hit you the hardest. Own it. That's your first step to breaking the cycle. Second, smash that like button if this video stung you, but also lit a fire inside you. And don't just watch in silence. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. And of course hit subscribe, because the next video is where I reveal the exact signs an avoidant secretly wants you, even while they're pulling away. Trust me, once you learn to spot those signs, the entire game changes. This is your moment. Stop playing scared. Start becoming unforgettable.